that we normally take in addition? Is there a?
There's the Seagrams.
Seagrams?
Seagrams. There's like 70 different products in the product line. The only one that I personally probably have not taken, the only one is prostate support because I don't have prostate. Go figure. But I've tried just
Go ahead and try that.
But I have men that take Formula W. Ladies. So if there are, yes, and there's actually very good evidence that Formula W helps, especially with people that have had injuries. For men, so just FYI, it won't feminize you, I promise. But, no, had injuries.
Oh, had
Like knees.
injuries. She said head injuries.
Had injuries, I can't fix.
We are talking about running.
We're having way too much fun. Kirk, you can leave now. This is Kirk. I told him I'm the official Kirk Thomas trainer. But that's on the product side. Does anyone else have any other product question? Yes.
Just one more question. If somebody says, I can't take the Spark because it makes my heart race. I have that they're on blood pressure medicine and they said it bothers them. I mean, like I know we have
V16 as an option. You have Rehydrate as an option. You can tell them to take half of a packet or half of a scoop and build it up. Most of the time it's B vitamin shock. It's what I call vitamin shock. Some of you have heard me use that term. And it's basically, a lot of times they feel funny because of the B vitamin complex. Okay, especially welcome to Texas where you have meat and potato guys. Initially they have a hard time with Spark. I've had a lot of big guys tell me, I don't know about that Spark stuff. I'm like, yeah, you haven't had a green vegetable in 4 years. It's true.
So the
This is not my normal presentation.
You're picking on me. You're picking on me.
So the Feel Funny is the B vitamin.
It's B vitamin, yes.
Okay.
Niacin flush is very common.
Woozy.
Yeah, they'll get a little dizzy. They'll get tingly.
Yeah.
I get a lot of.
Right. Okay.
My favorite term is tactile hallucinations. Everyone loves when I use that one because they're like, what? But that's that tingly sensation that you get from B vitamins. Sometimes you flush and feel a little bit faint and get real hot. That's actually the B vitamin.
Okay.
That's your tactile hallucination. There's a big word for you.
So is there a time period? I mean, they'll just get used to
you
it?
get used to it after about a week or so.
Okay.
Yeah, not even. Sometimes it just happens randomly.
Okay.
Yes, sir?
What about contraindications where you may be taking something that might conflict with this? Should you worry about that?
One of the things I always tell people is if you have a dietary, like if your doctor said do not eat asparagus, okay, then we have to look at something. But because there are people that are really not supposed to have licorice or certain things like that because of blood thinners and things like that. In general, if you can eat food, you can take any Advocare product. So unless you have specific restrictions from your physician, then we have to figure out, well, what is the nutrient in that particular food that they're worried about, and then we go backwards. Okay? Like chemotherapy drugs should not be on arginine extreme, period.
So who do we ask about, do we come to you personally?
Me? No,
Well, if you're not available.
I didn't want to speak now.
yeah, because your grateful leader is right here. But pretty much anyone in this area knows how to get in touch with me. So if there's like a major medical issue, it's kind of a running joke on the SciMed board for this area. So I kind of.
Not a joke. It's for real.
Except I don't have a really good picture. But so I can kind of modify some stuff if I need to. Yeah. I mean, I'm one of the ones that has the medical expertise. You guys just happen to be super lucky to be in the Houston area and be able to use me. But otherwise, goes back to your physician. Now, here's the important thing. If you have an issue and you are taking something let me just, from a doctor's point of view, let me tell you what you do not do. Can I take this? Because guess what I'm going to say? Nope. Why? Because I'm too lazy to turn the box and read it. You say, is there anything in this that can hurt me? Write that down, tattoo it on your arm, I don't care what you do. Is there anything in this that can hurt me? That will force your physician to actually read it and then say, from an informed decision, yay or nay. Because we're too busy to look up stuff and we're not going to do that. We're going to say, no. because it's easier to say no, it has the least resistance. Most physicians do not know about Avocare. Most of them do not. Yes, ma'am.
Is it fine to do the 24-day challenge and take the products if you're breastfeeding?
Stay away from the cleanse if you're nursing. So no cleanse when you're nursing, but you could still do, it depends on your, if your OB said it was okay to do 1 caffeinated beverage, then you could do the Spark. You know, some have certain reasons for doing certain things, but you could do max 3, shake, Spark, Catalyst, Omegas, extra calcium if you need to. So yeah, you could do the last 14 days. When you stop nursing, then you can do the cleanse.
If you're doing MNS3, if your nutritional values are low on your blood test, will that help boost them up?
Such as?
Well, with the, like with protein and different.
If you're using the shakes with that, yes. Okay? MNS is not gonna affect your protein levels, but it will help regulate your calcium and things like that, yes.
Pregnant women,
Yes. What about,
neonatal possibilities. What would be some of
like,
the
what they can take if they're pregnant? MNS max 3, again, plus or minus, some OBs will not allow caffeinated, I was gonna say vegetables, caffeinated drinks, and some will. But you could do Rehydrate, which is a great alternative, especially for the craving mom or the mom that's a diabetic or a gestational diabetic. Use lots of Rehydrate because that cuts cravings for sugar and won't make them actually eat bad, because that's the problem. They're usually dietary controlled. Shakes, totally fine to use. Bars are totally fine to use. So any of that. Extra calcium plus, some of them need extra calcium plus and things like that.
What product did you say that was good for PSA? For the.
Oh. I was like,
I'm sorry.
It's
It's
an
'cause
I'm doing that all
PSA,
evening?
yeah.
It's called prostate support.
That's what it's called?
That's what it's called, prostate support.
And it's under the well?
It's under the, yes, I believe it's under the wellness, yeah,
Yeah.
green, yes, it's green.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Green is wellness, purple is, trim, right? Active is red, and blue is performance.
So if you had somebody that's had their prostate removed, would you recommend the prostate?
And then it's been changed, what, I'm sorry?
If you've had somebody that's had their prostate removed, would you recommend the prostate product or not?
You can, especially if they have post-operative issues, yes. It's not gonna hurt them,
I should know.
because there's other stuff in it that's gonna promote male health, so, yeah. Next, it's like Jeopardy, you know.
What did you say that they should take on that prostate question that he asked?
Prostate support. Man, I've never had so many questions about prostate.
You brought it up.
Kirk, what do you do?
Me either.
And one more, you said about giving the kids that take a steroid, you give them which one?
Catalyst.
Catalyst, and that's steroid for what, like for asthmatics?
Only orals. If you're on oral
Like
steroids.
prednisone or?
But not the short bursts. This is chronic.
Yeah,
If a kid's had a renal transplant or, something like that. Like the one patient I used it on very amazingly successfully, he had just had a renal transplant, blew up like a balloon. He was 4 years old, and was miserable. I mean, he had blown up so bad that mobility was a big issue.
I seen that.
Put him on the Catalyst, 3 months, told him, I didn't even recognize him next time I walked in. And he still to this day takes it, and that was 5.5, 6 years ago. So he's still on product, his mother and on product, and he's on product. Any other questions?
All right, Kurt.
Yeah! I'll be available for questions.
Thank you.